Every athlete has a story beyond the game. But what happens when the final buzzer sounds? I'm Morgan Gardner, and this is Behind the Jersey, where we dive into the untold journeys of athletes navigating life after sports. From career shifts to mental health, we're talking real challenges, raw experiences, and what comes next. Stay locked in, because the game may end, but the journey never stops. Well, hello everyone, it's your fave, Morgan Gardner, and today we're diving into a topic that isn't talked about enough: life after athletics. For so many of us, sports have shaped our identity, structured our days, and given us a sense of purpose. But what happens when that chapter closes? The transition out of athletics can bring a mix of emotions, uncertainty, excitement, even a little bit of fear. In this episode, we'll explore the challenges that come with leaving sports behind, from redefining our identity to finding new passions and career paths. Whether you're going through this transition now or just preparing for what's next, this conversation is for you. Well, let's get into it. So a little background about me. I am a former Division One college basketball player for the University of Nebraska Omaha. I've been here all 4 years. I have not redshirted or transferred in, or all the weird things going on in sports right now. So basically, I had my last game of my career happen on March 6, I believe, against South Dakota State. Now, we lost by a large margin, but they are a really good team, and we all kind of expected the outcome that we were not going to beat them. I know that sounds kind of not nice to say, or not, applicable, but we all kind of just knew that we had to put our best foot forward, and pretty much whatever happens, happens. As far as my reaction, it didn't really hit me until 2 days later, honestly. I think that was at Saturday, because we played Thursday. I felt emotional mostly on Thursday, because that was my last time suiting up with my teammates, like my girls, like my sisters, family. And it just really hit me hard in that moment on Thursday night. But I didn't really get the chance to settle in and realize that I just played my last game until 2 days later. It really was a bittersweet feeling. I've been playing since I was 7 years old, and I'm 21 years old now, so that's 14 years if you do the math. And I really feel like I put my whole heart into this game, my love, passion, blood, sweat, tears. But on the flip side, it was very stressful. I had a lot of pressure on me. I would say mostly throughout high school, going into college. But I've made so many connections. I've met so many people and teammates and coaches and parents, and I've made lifelong friends from playing the sport that I love. It was bittersweet. That's all. I'm going to just keep it at that. It was bittersweet. So, where am I now? Basically, if you're wondering, ever since Saturday, I took the whole weekend off from like training, working out, and everything. I had the opportunity to call my family and friends, get their input of how to see my career has been, and just like they're asking me now, like, what's next, and everyone, I get a common question from everyone. It's, how do you feel that you're done? Like, how do you feel that now it's over? And I tell everyone, it is fantastic. I I don't really know how to explain it. I just feel like so like normal for once. I know that's kind of weird to say, but I mean, being around athletes my whole life, I only know athletes. Like, I only know like the go go go, the constant movement, the constant this. Be at this practice, be at this game, come to this shoot around, be at this team event. I only know, like, I've only been in that system. I've been in that system for like 14 years, so that's the only thing I know. On the flip side, like, I just feel like, yeah, I feel great. Like, honestly, I do. Like I said, I took the whole weekend off. I basically rearranged my whole room, so that's a plus, I guess. I'm kind of a neat freak slash OCD type person, so I was in like a cleaning phase, revamping phase. Pretty much cleaned our whole apartment. It also helped because spring break was that following Friday, so I got a chance to pack, which took time, my mental off of basketball being over, which also helped. But other than that, I took 3 days off, and then I realized I was like, well, I'm the type of person that can't sit down ever. And Monday, I got back in the gym. I was doing my lifting session, conditioning session. I honestly felt great. Like I don't even know how else to explain it. Like I just feel so free. Like I have so much freedom to go work out whenever I want to, be with whoever I want to, see my friends and family whenever I want to, not have to worry about being watched, if that makes sense. Because I feel like as an athlete, you're always watched on social media, going to the grocery store, I don't know, walking down the street, getting mail, taking out the garbage. You're always just watched. And I feel like, I hate to say this, but I can pretty much do whatever I want now, if that makes sense. I can just, like I said before, be normal. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking me also, like, how do I fill my time, you know? Well, I've been staying productive, obviously, with class, and I still have like constant meetings every day. I'm starting my new job this week, which is exciting. Obviously, still working out every day. Overall, I really just feel like if you don't have a plan right away when the ball stops bouncing, you don't have to stress and worry. Like, it's gonna take time. You have plenty of time to figure out what you wanna do after the ball stops bouncing or after the game is over. A lot of people just wanna rush into things, rush into a relationship, rush into getting a job right away. Their mind is spiraling. My main advice, everyone, is just to relax, basically. I've gotten texts from teammates at like telling me like, oh, you're gonna feel this, you're gonna feel post this. I'm like, it hasn't hit me yet, and I really feel like it won't because I've really been. I'll be honest. The past 4 years playing for the university, it hasn't really gone my way. I don't want to get too personal on this podcast, but I just really haven't had. I'll say the best 4 years here. It's been a struggle. My inner circle has seen me at my worst, obviously, but I prevailed, and honestly, I was able to grow as a player, honestly, and as a young woman navigating this hectic world we live in. It really was just, it's just a big mental shift now after the ball stopped bouncing. I feel more calm. And honestly, I feel just like a happier person. And which is crazy to say, but while I was playing sports, I feel like playing college basketball, I became a meaner person. I don't really know how to explain that, but like I came here, my little freshman Morgan, 18 years old, so happy go lucky, and then throughout my career, I just didn't have the same spark. Like I wasn't the same Morgan as I used to be, and it may be crazy for some people to look at me now and be like, "Oh my gosh, she's great, she's fantastic, she's always upbeat, always laughing," but during those 4 years, I was hurting internally. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, it was just it's a big mental shift playing college basketball from high school. Getting I was player of the year at this conference, got this award, got these medals, got this state honors, whatever. And then coming to college, you're around the same type of demographics and same type of girls who were player of the years in their state, in their conference, in their league, etc. Being in college, I was at my worst, honestly. I don't want to go into detail, but I was at my worst, and it led me to talking to our sports psychologist actually. And I never knew like how sessions go. Like I never talked to a therapist or psychologist before college, and honestly talking to her, like it just changed my mentality of like going about life. It was like a huge mental shift. Like I was able to just grow and just be more mature about things, and I was able to adjust to adversity better rather than react, if that makes sense. Talking to her, she's honestly got me through these past 2 years of college basketball, which were my hardest years, I will say. I'm very grateful for her and her time, and I really do recommend for anyone, whether it's playing sports or having a job or you know just anything in life, like talking to a therapist or psychologist is very, very, very beneficial in my opinion. And people may be like, oh well, I'm okay, well I don't need anybody, but I was that way too. I'm not the one to talk about my feelings a lot to anybody besides like my inner circle, my family. But talking to her, it just felt natural. It just felt like she's known me for so long, and we built that relationship and connection with each other. And I just really feel like without her, my inner circle, my family, my parents, whatever, I wouldn't have got through the last 2 years of my college basketball career. So yeah, I know I kind of got a little deep there, but I mean, I had to, it's a podcast, so I can kind of my opinion about things. But yeah, I really do encourage other people who are going through similar transitions to just talk about it. Like it's very hard to talk about it, and I'm getting choked up, but it's it's hard. Like it is really hard. You go through what you grow through, if that makes sense. And during my hard times of playing college basketball, I was able to honestly get through it. Yeah, I was just grateful for honestly what I went through because it made me realize who to trust and who not to trust, and who to let in my circle and who to just leave behind. And it's hard leaving behind friends, teammates, even family members, honestly, even coaches. But in order for me to grow, I have to do what's best for me. And I really encourage that to everyone else to just, if you feel like someone is holding you back, that's their fault. You have to just learn how to just step away. And it's going to be hard. That may be a hard thing for anyone, stepping away from family, friends, whoever. You have to step away from somebody in order for you to grow. And yeah, I sit here today with you all. I just really feel at peace with myself for once. Like I don't feel as so uptight or stressed about, eating, or stressed about not working out on time, not stressed about, what I do outside of sports. And I guess I can now mention, since it's not really public yet, but I plan on writing a book actually. And I kind of got the idea of writing a book about my journey through college basketball. I think it's my sophomore year. I just really want to bring awareness to really behind the scenes of college basketball, which led me to my podcast title, Behind the Jersey. And I just want to bring awareness to the people who aren't involved in the sports world, what we go through and stuff like that, the mental shift, the physical shift. So I kind of just really just want to hone in on writing my book. It'll take me a few years just to get into the flow of things. And then I want to just publish it out for the world, honestly. Funny, I want to be a best-selling author, one of those like in New York type, New York Times best-selling author. I kind of want to do that. My mind's all over the place right now, so I wanted to talk about life after athletics, specifically my first episode, just for people to get a glimpse of what it's like being really in athletics. And just I want everyone to just, whoever is playing sports, or you have a job or whatever, just always stay true to yourself. Believe in yourself. And I really feel like self-esteem and self-confidence are the main two factors that'll get you through anything. I'm very big on confidence, self-esteem, and independency. I don't really depend on a lot of people in my life because I grew up as an only child, but I do have very, 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 very good awareness of when something's wrong or when I'm right. I'm able to have common sense, and just being in college as an 18-year-old to 21-year-old, I've learned to really get through adversity at a very young age. And, like I said, I'm still young, like 21, like, oh my gosh, like I have the world to see, literally. Like I have places to go, people to meet, like I have so much, I feel like, time. And I really feel like being in college sports, I was taken away from that time, if that makes sense. I mean, I was still able to see my friends, family, travel, but not as much as I really wanted to. But I'm, like I said, I still have time. I feel like the past 4 years, I've just not been, I don't want to say trapped, but I don't want to stay stuck either. I just been like a placeholder. I guess that's a good word to say. But yeah, my advice to anyone listening to this podcast really is to just take some time to just think. I think a lot, like a lot, anywhere, anytime. I encourage people to just think and write down their thoughts. Everyone has their iPhones in their hand, their iPads, their computers, this. Jot down your thoughts. It really does help. It does. I do the same thing, whether that's a good thing, bad thing, what I can grow through, what I could have done better, what can I do better next time. I've heard so many of my friends and teammates say I feel so behind in life. Like they want to get married, have kids right away, move into a house right away, get a car right away. I basically just tell them like you have so much time. Like we're only like in their early 20s. Like we have so much life to live and the world to see. There's no reason to rush life. Like I'm really big on living the moment. I think everyone should do that as well, especially navigating life after athletics. Like, and it's crazy because you can still be involved in the game. Like my philosophy is the ball did stop bouncing, but I always say this isn't really a goodbye. It's just a see you later. Like I'm gonna find my way back into athletics one way or another. Like being involved in a sport for 14 years, you don't just walk away from a sport you've played for 14 years of your life. I eventually want to get into coaching, get into, becoming a director of operations or get into maybe a referee. To wrap up this episode, my final piece of advice for everyone is to just keep living. Like I don't really have many words to say, but just keep living, keep being you, keep being the best version of yourself. Never change, never stop, keep growing. Honestly, all the above. My mom always told me, you can do whatever you put your mind to. I always tell myself too, if I want something, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the opportunity. I'm going to take the internship. I'm going to take time for myself. I'm going to take this vacation. I'm going to take time away to be with my family. I'm going to take time to be with my friends. So honestly, guys, first episode, I really feel like it was a success. The next episode is we're going to talk more about social media personas and get into like the body dysmorphia. As an athlete, our bodies change so much, lifting, conditioning, eating, diets, this. So I really want to get more on that in the next episode. I honestly feel like I could make a somewhat career out of this podcasting thing. I kind of like this, you know what I'm saying? A little something on the side to do, now that I'm free, if that makes sense. So yeah, honestly guys, that's all I have for you. That's honestly all I have for you guys. Make sure to follow, subscribe, and that's a wrap. But I'm excited to see where this podcast is going. I'm excited to share my thoughts with you all and my life advice, career advice, advice in general, encouraging words. Because I am a people person. I may not show it on the outside as much, but deep down internally, I am a people person. I love telling my story, and I really feel like I want to encourage more athletes to tell their side of the story as well, being in college athletics. So yeah, make sure to follow, subscribe, and connect to my social media, I guess you can say. But yeah, all right, guys. See you next time. The game might be over, but the story keeps going. Thanks for tuning in to Behind the Jersey. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and follow for more stories from life after sports.